Hey, it's Trina, and I know it's not my day, but I said I'd do 2 videos this week, and here I am. Um, yes, so today I'm going to talk a bit about polyamory, because I haven't really yet, and sorry, considering most people don't really have any idea what it is at all, and whenever I bring it up with someone, they always kind of just look at me weird and think I'm an alien, which is always fun. Yes, I come from a different planet because I do things a little differently. Um, Usually I just say I'm wired differently, which is true. I'm completely different from anyone I know. Um, so polyamory basically is the idea that you can love or desire or have feelings for more than one person at once. Essentially, it is. Sorry, that's my phone. Essentially, it is ethical non-monogamy. Um, yes, being in a relationship with, dating, sleeping with, being involved with in any way with more than one person at once. Um, it's kind of the umbrella term for everything else. Polygyny is a man with multiple wives. Polyandry is a wife with multiple husbands. Polygamy is multiple spouses. Polyamory is multiple loves. And it doesn't have to be sexual, it can just be romantic, or it can just be sexual. It can be quite difficult to negotiate. Most of the time, people's first reactions are, but don't you get jealous? Or, but I don't want to share my partner, whatever they call their partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, life partner, best friend, soulmate, whatever. That is generally the first reaction that I get. No, I do not get jealous. Yes, I like to share. Not everybody does. It's definitely not for everyone. I've had relationships fail, and I've seen other people who can't handle it. And so, yes, I think just like monogamy is not for everybody, polyamory is not for everybody either. I actually don't think that people as a whole are actually a monogamous species. I think polyamory is probably, the solution to everybody's problems. Especially when you look at the amount of people who cheat. If everybody was okay with that, we'd all be fine. There was actually an episode of Boston Legal once. This is my favorite episode of the whole series. It's where this man has 2 wives and they go to court because, you're not allowed to be married to 2 different people at the same time. And it was kind of superficial, but it put it across in a way that made it easy for people to relate to. The characters were talking about how, they had children and they'd share the looking after of the children, and the shopping and the chores and the sex, they would share the sex. If the mother of the children would always be tired at the end of the day when the husband came home, was ready to go, he'd go next door to the second wife. And how they were all, they all agreed, they all loved it, and they were all best friends, and everything was open and honest, and it worked. And it really can work. A lot of people think it can't, but it really can. What else am I gonna say? It's really all about being open and honest and about communication. And there are so many different ways to be poly. You can be in a triad, or you can just be openly sexual, or, there are so many different types of relationships that can be involved. It's really it's hard to define because I think for everybody poly is a little bit different. I know people that just want 2 partners, 1 of each sex. People that just want to be in a triad, or, you know, maybe you want 2 boyfriends or 2 girlfriends, or maybe you have 1 main relationship and then a couple of other, like, smaller relationships with other people that you're not so involved in. Yes, so it's basically just whatever you want, really, and I think that's what makes it so hard to understand, because what one person does isn't necessarily what another person does or wants or likes. So I think people kind of get confused when they hear about it, because it's like, for one, it's not socially acceptable yet. It still is something that people look down upon. I think mostly because the general population kind of thinks, well, we should be monogamous and we only should have 1 life partner and get married and have kids, and you can't be with other people, and it's wrong, but it's not. In poly terms, there are different sorts of partners too. You can have primary partners, which obviously it's pretty self-explanatory, really, primary or secondary. And like I said before, they can be romantic, sexual, both. Whatever you want. That's what I like about poly. It's whatever you want, and whatever the people you're involved with want too, because you can't just walk all over people. And there is cheating in polyamory. I get that a bit too. Mostly it's like, isn't it cheating? And I'm like, well, no. And then they go, but then that means that there is no cheating. But there is. People can still cheat. I think cheating is a violation of trust, not just related to, you know, having sex with someone else when you're not allowed. You know, it can be anything. I identify as poly because it most suits what I want. I identify as polyamory because I don't want to have multiple husbands and I don't want to have multiple wives. I just want to have multiple partners. I think my sexuality comes a lot into that too. I notice a lot. I think that the majority of poly people are not straight. Some are, of course. But I think, for me, it comes down to wanting both men and women at the same time. And that's kind of how I found out about it, because back when I was younger, like 18 or whatever, I wanted to date my then boyfriend, and sleep with girls. And I had these friends that were swingers, and I didn't want to be a swinger because I didn't want it to just be about sex. So they told me about poly, and I went, hey, that's me. And then I did some research on it, and I found other people, so I didn't feel so alone. And yeah. But yes, it's not for everyone, but it can be really good. I think it's like the little moments in poly relationships that make them so special, just the same as normal relationships. And it's good because you can go out with someone, and then I like sharing, and I like sharing details, and I get happy when people that I'm with other people. It's weird. I freak most people out. They think I'm crazy. I probably am, but who knows? Anyway, I'd really like some questions on poly, because I think that I am normal and that everybody else is nuts. So tell me what you don't get, or what you don't know, or what you want to hear, so that I can answer your questions, because I still think that I am normal and everybody else is not. Yes, hopefully Beth will do her video today, but she said she was going to be busy, and she's in England, so the time difference is a bit different. That was a redundant sentence. The time difference is large. Anyway, I will talk to you all later, and I hope you've enjoyed my bonus video for the week. Bye!